I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to finish up my little apple real quick. But listen, welcome into the building. Happy Thursday, okay, everybody? Happy Thursday. I'm glad to see y'all in the building, okay, hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate y'all. Happy Thursday. I hope everybody's having a good day. I'm having a good day so far. Life is good, okay? Life is good. So happy Thursday. Welcome here for Trending Topics. I see my mods popping in the building, okay? Did y'all hit that like button? Hit the like button, people. The diva is working, okay? So listen. So glad to see y'all, all y'all. It's Thursday, Trending Topics, and our title tonight is, Do We Really Need to Know? Do we really need to know? That's the title tonight. Do we really need to know? So Trump has signed some document, and he's going to release wants them to release the classified files on the unaliving of JFK, RFK, and MLK. Okay, all the K's. Okay, and I saw that, and I was just like, I don't know what us knowing this classified information is really how it's going to help us. What are we going to do with it? I come on, y'all. I'm like with y'all. If y'all are caught here, we don't. I don't. For what? What are we going to do with it? Is it going to just enrage people? I'm just like, why? I'm not liking it. I'm not feeling it. I don't see what the purpose is. What are we going to do? Especially probably because these people who committed the crime or even maybe set up the crime, because a lot of people feel that all three of those situations were set up, they're probably no longer here. So you just want to put anger out in the world for what? I don't, this is, talking about crazy times. That's just crazy. Talking about the long awaited, why would we need to know? Irene saying the American people need to know. Raheem saying, I think we need to know transparency from the government is better than secrecy. But y'all gotta let me know that everybody is saying we need to know. What are we gonna do with the information? Get angry? Because trust and believe, there's some stuff that's updated that's going on that would serve us a better purpose that maybe we can prevent and make a change with. We can't bring back somebody that's gone. But I have the discussion. But when I saw it, I was like, "Whoa, this is a mess." And I also believe, to be very honest with you, even when they release the classified information, it's going to be some classified information that doesn't come out with that classified information. They're not going to tell us everything. Listen, there's allegedly classified information that there's aliens amongst us. Listen, they're always going to keep some secrets from us. And although I don't believe it's for everything, but you know how they say what you don't know, it won't hurt. I don't think that's true for every situation, but I do think there are some. What you don't know, it won't hurt you. I don't know if we need to know this classified information, but they say they're going to release it. He signed the paperwork, and he was very proud when he signed it. So we'll see when that comes out and what goes about. You want to know what I think is more that we need to know? We need to know the Epstein, Weinstein, and the Diddy list. Sign something to get us those lists so that we can save our brothers, our sisters, our cousins, our uncles, our friends from the predators out there. What's that one named Mike Jeffries from Abercrombie and Fitch? You want to save us? You want to tell us something? Tell us his list. So we again can save our brothers, our sisters, our cousins, our friends, our uncles from the predators. But instead, you're going to release classified information that, in my opinion, is just going to enrage everybody. But we'll talk about it. I'll have a conversation about it. JFK files, RFK and MLK, classified files about the unaliving of those individuals. He wants it released. Then we're going to talk this basketball chaos. Often over here, sometimes, I talk about what should I call it? Like the sports when before you get even in high school, even in college. Okay, so I'll just talk about sports before you become a professional. This sports situation is crazy. You have parents that will lose their natural mind and beat up the referee, curse out the referee, curse out other kids, spill nasty slurs against the other team. So you have this basketball team, and the one kid from the one team, he cold knocked out 2 of his opponents. It is said that these individuals were calling him the N-word. And he knocked them out. Cold clocked them out. Now, I don't agree with violence, period. But I have been to games where racial slurs were spilled, right? People was saying racial slurs, right? And oh yeah, did he attack the coach with a kettlebell? Yeah, a kettleball. And that was in college. That was when his son was in college. So I just think it's just too much. I don't know. The percentage is low, very low, even when your kid is good, on who is going to get into the professional sport. Whether it's basketball, NFL, soccer, whatever it is, the percentage of your kid going pro is very low. Now, does that mean that you shouldn't even try? No. But does that mean that you should have your kid on the court acting a fool, you acting a fool, and you cutting up? No. And in life, I think we're all going to have to deal with some type of adversities. And if the way you teach your child to deal with said adversities is by putting their dukes up, your child is going to have a rough life. Now, I got to agree. You being called the N-word is jacked up. But I would have rather my kid walked off the game and defaulted that game than to now be in trouble because he cold knocked 2 kids out. We're going to talk about it. The basketball chaos. Then A$AP Rocky's trial. It's interesting to me how we wonder why. Let me back up a little bit. We wonder why there's so many people that are now surfacing saying that they were violated by Diddy. It's something about celebrity. It's something about people having money that other people lose their mind. If Beyonce was to walk in the room and there was 100 people there, they probably would lose their mind. Do you need water? Are you okay? You can have my seat. But the people we see every day, we only want to treat kindly. But you see a celebrity you don't know, and people lose their mind. Now, I love Reverend Al Sharpton. Yeah, I do. Stood up for a lot of good causes. And some of them he stood up for because he didn't know until he knew. It was a little messy. But you know what? We give everybody grace. So Reverend Al Sharpton came out and said he doesn't think it's right that there are no black jurors for the A$AP Rocky trial. And I looked at it and I listened and I said, And so did A$AP Rocky lawyer is complaining that the area in which this trial is in, 9% of the people in the area represents blacks, but the jury pool for him is like 3% or 5%, and they're afraid there's no blacks are going to be on the jury. And I'm just like, it's not that I don't think it's a good fight versus a bad fight, but I'm like, everyday people that are black go to trial all the time, and the jury don't look nothing like them. You know, we got to go back to who did that comedy show, Selective Outrage? Chris Rock. We got to go to that, Selective Outrage. So when it comes to somebody famous, we in an uproar. Now we want to talk about how the jury pool don't look like the person who's on trial. When it's been happening for years and decades and every day. And good luck to A$AP Rocky, who perhaps may be thinking that just if I get a jury pool that looks like me, maybe I'm going to be better off. I don't know. I think court, period, no matter who you get on the jury, no matter what, well, it does matter somewhat with lawyer you have. Matter of fact, it matters a lot what lawyer you have. But I think no matter who you have on that jury, sometimes it's just a roll of a dice. It's just a roll of a dice. Sometimes they roll the dice and you luck up. Sometimes you roll the dice and you luck out. It's just that simple. But we're going to talk about how Rihanna is not showing up at the court. And she got 2 kids by A$AP Rocky. But you had, what was her name? Megan Good. Megan Good was by Jonathan Major's side throughout that whole court ordeal. And she was a new girlfriend, as far as we knew. Now, I think she was the one on the phone when Grace DeBarbie got mad and said, let me see that phone. I think it was Megan Good on that phone. But hey, we're going to roll with it. But either way, as the new girlfriend, she was filmed with him. They pictured her with Jonathan Major. She was by his side the whole time throughout that whole court ordeal. She didn't leave his side. Now, you want to talk ride or die? Megan Good. But Rihanna, her man in the court, and we don't see her. Now, maybe they sneaking her in the back door, and she just don't want all this publicity because she got her brands, you know, the Fenty line and all of that. So maybe she don't want to be connected. Maybe she's sliding in through the side door. I don't know. But I don't see it there. But you know what? Shout out to the moms. Because, yeah, his mama showing up in that court. Mama came to court for her baby. Shout out to the moms, no matter how old your kids are. And when something go down, you there. Holding your head up and holding your baby down. But his baby mama's not there as far as I know. Yeah, his charges are very serious. Pow charges. I wish him well. Now, I understand. Somebody wrote to me. I did not know this. Listen, y'all educate me too. Somebody told me in the comments that if you take a plea deal, like you could never get that expunged or something like that. I should have wrote the comments down. But anyway, I thought it was interesting. I said, okay, by the information that one subscriber gave me, I was like, okay, you know what? I could understand perhaps why he didn't take a plea deal, but I mean, the plea deal was a little wicked because it was 7 years probation, something like that, 180 days in jail. But if you compare that to how much he can go to jail for if he's found convicted, oh yeah, it's very true, Diva. You can never get it expunged. Well, I mean, a plea deal is saying you're guilty. I don't know. Listen, that's why I told you I try to stay out of trouble. I don't want to have to deal with all of that. But I get it. If you can never get it expunged, it's like saying you're guilty. I mean, to me, I guess if it was less time and not so brutal, I think I probably would have took the plea deal. But since you know what, they was still giving him like 7 years probation. It was a little crazy. So half a year in jail. I guess he said he'll take his chances on the stand. Now they got a video with said pow pow on his hip. But he's saying it was a prop pow pow. It was fake. It was real. It wasn't real. He said it was fake news. And it's another felony on your record. Well, I don't know what he's going to do, but we're going to see how this trial. We got 100 trials in 2025. We got Diddy. We got ASAP Rocky. We got Keefy D. I really think there was another one. I just can't think of it right now. A lot of trials in 2025. But listen, people, I done talked enough and I came on late. The train pulled out the building late, but it pulled out. So we okay. So I need to bring the people on in the building. Y'all know what I need in the chat. What do I need, y'all? I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Thursday night trending topics and we got stuff to talk about. Hey, Tay, thank you. And the title is, do we really need to know? The JFK files are going to be released because Donald Trump, our new president, he signed the documents and he said it's about time. I say, I don't know. We got basketball chaos and ASAP Rocky's jury has been convened. So hold on 1 second. Let me bring the people on in. Hey, Julius.
Hey, hit the like button, y'all.
Thank you. Hey, Katrina.
Hey, Diva. Hey, chat.
All right, y'all. Hold on one. So we got a passenger running to the stop. Come on now. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, Diva. Running late, but caught the train.
Thank you. I'm glad you caught the train. You know, let's get into this first story with Donald Trump signing to have these documents released. I'm just like, oh, why? I just feel like, hold on 1 second. We got another passenger that made the train here. Hey, Tay.
Hello.
Okay, let's see. So Donald Trump, no more secrets. We're giving you the full story on JFK, RFK, MLK assassinations. Now let's see this here. Hold on 1 second.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed. Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
Hey, let me pause that. So Donald Trump's blowing the lid off secret files that may reveal the truth behind some of the most consequential political assassinations in American history. The POTUS signed an order Thursday ordering the FBI and other agencies to release all documents relating to the assassinations of John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert, and Martin Luther King Jr. And he wants full disclosure stat. Trump signed the order in the Oval Office, telling the crowd people have been waiting for this moment for decades. Trump also told an aide to give the pen used to sign the document to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the son of RFK, and his pick for Human and Health Services Secretary. Trump says there are no national security concerns that will be compromised by the release of the documents. In the case of JFK, the word on the streets of D.C. was that the foreign government, possibly Cuba, was behind the assassination. The plan for releasing the JFK files must be presented in 15 days. A plan for releasing RFK and MLK documents must be made in 45 days. Records related to President Kennedy's unaliving have been released slowly over the years, and President Trump promised during his first term that he would facilitate the release of the documents still classified. I don't like it, but that is me. Julius, your thoughts?
I feel like, Miss Caroline, Madam Ambassador Caroline Kennedy, hasn't asked for this. This is her father. And from what I can follow from her son, Jackal's Instagram, as I call him, they don't really rock with RFK Jr. like that. He's doing this for a look, not because he loves and wants to protect his cousins. That to me speaks that he's only out for himself and not for his family. And as far as Martin Luther King III hasn't been consulted. Reverend Bernice King hasn't been consulted, or else they would have said so publicly. They both have not been consulted. If they had, they would have said so publicly. Because what the younger son of Martin Luther King, I heard a recording, and he asked the person who was behind bars, "Did you unalive my father?" He asked them that straight up, no hostile, nothing. I heard the recording myself on that. And it was settled right then from that conversation. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Ain't nobody fooled by what Trump trying to do. He just trying to, because a lot of people think the FBI has something to do with these unalive. So he want to do this so he can look into the FBI, so he can have another reason so he can say he's firing them. And if you're doing all this type of things, you're doing the MLK, Robert F.K., and his brother Bobby. What about Malcolm X? Why he's not on the list? I'm not being fooled by him. I'm not, because we already know who did these unalive. That's the one he need to. That's the one he need to be investigating, because he only think that the FBI had something to do with it. I'm not fooled by him, but we'll see how it goes. But I don't trust nothing he does. But that's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. Tay, your thoughts?
It's been decades since those guys been assassinated a long time ago. I with Katrina, I ain't fooled by him either. I don't care for this president. Sorry.
Thank you, Tay. Savannah, your thoughts?
These files were deemed classified for a reason.
Yeah.
And there's information in there that the public don't need to know.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think that he's releasing this for an audience of one. There's really not there's no gain in releasing the information, and this is just more of his circus distraction of everyone getting the public's nerves um, rattled up, and so that they can do whatever they're doing behind the scenes, other things that really will affect the American citizen. These files, from what they're, just because he signs an executive order, there's still a process that needs to be done, and it can be challenged in the courts, although Republicans own the Supreme Court, but there are federal judges that are stepping up and trying to be gatekeepers. This is also an intelligence issue, national intelligence issue. This is if my history is correct, this is the CIA does not look good in these reports. And this, I believe, I agree with Katrina. This is kind of throwing egg in the faces of our intelligence agencies, just like he did with our Capitol Hill police. Um, I, I'm just, this all this, and we haven't even been on this merry-go-round for a week. It's been 4 days of continued chaos, and I'm trying not to get mentally exhausted, but we have to be in the fight, and it's unfortunate, but we definitely need to. I just want to know where to sign up for the purge that he called for, because so I need to start training for the purge.
Mm, mm. Yeah. I just gotta say, I just honestly don't know, like, who this is going to benefit and why would it benefit us seeing this. I think with every job and every situation, there are some things that the general public just doesn't need to know and just don't need to see, because what do we do with said information? I don't know what's going to come out of us knowing anything about the classified. Like you said, it is classified for a reason. Us knowing anything about this, there's already documentaries and stories out there about what really happened to these individuals, and I do believe them.
Diva, can
I
I ask?
agree. And, releasing those, I apologize, releasing these documents, it can bring harm to our military defense, our intelligence agencies and operations on how they gather information, our law enforcement, and even how we interact with foreign countries. So it's just reckless of him to release these documents for all three individuals. It was an ugly part of history that this generation that lives now, this younger generation, has no idea of the struggle that happened in the 60s and 70s.
Okay, I'm sorry, I got distracted. Irene, what happened?
She said that I see that there's prejudice on this channel against people that are white. And I want to make one thing clear. That is not the case. As a half white person on this panel and as a moderator, racism at all will not be tolerated. So, Irene, you got timed out for 24 hours.
No, why did you do that though? Why did you time her out? Because just because she said
She
that, don't time
she
her out. What
she
happened though?
she was insinuating that because we were speaking our opinions that we were being racist against white people, and that's not the case. That's what she was saying. That your channel was promoting racism against white people.
All right,
I don't have a racist bone in my body.
oh wait,
I've been around. I've been around. Hold on, Diva. I've been around a lot of white people, and
hold
racism
on,
is.
Katrina. Hold on, Katrina. Irene is usually here. That's why I'm trying to figure out what happened. Like, okay, I don't even want to continue down that road. I don't know what happened. But before you time somebody out, Julius, just let me speak to them, because I don't know what happened, what went down that she felt that way. But we'll carry on. But I mean, a lot of these conversations are sensitive. They're sensitive conversations. But I think if you something changed with her comments, Diva. Yeah, I don't. You know what? I'll just say this. These conversations, they bring about different thought process. But I think I said before, I just said the other day, everybody's definitely entitled to their opinion. But if y'all been rocking with us for now, yeah, she's a regular passenger. If y'all been rocking with us for a while, you should know, definitely, at least for me, that I don't really, that's why I don't like the politic conversation. But I don't really do I really don't like, when people think something racist is going on. But anyway, let's move forward. I will just say this, just in general. I mean, MLK is part of this thing that's being released too. Yeah, I don't agree with the timeout, but I did delete her comment. Yeah. I don't. She doesn't need to be timeout. But anyway, let's move forward. So let's move forward. So that's the JFK releasing of the files. I don't particularly, to get back on track. All right, Irene is a Trump supporter. We need diversity. Yeah, and if you know what, thank you, Ladam, darling. And also if you listen to me over here, no one has ever seen me call Trump out of his name, like ever. Never did it. Even when it was time to vote, listen, y'all vote who y'all want to vote for. I'm gonna vote for who I want to vote for. So I'm shocked that she felt that way, but we're gonna move forward. So let me move into this basketball chaos story, okay? This basketball chaos story where this look like they was either junior high school. I'm not sure if it was high school. I'm sorry, it is high school, and it got a little crazy. So let's check it out. Georgia high school basketball player assaults two opponents with haymakers in a wild scene. Things got ugly. Let me just pause this here. Things got ugly at the end of a high school basketball game in Georgia earlier this month. Police are investigating an altercation that took place on the court during a game between Sonoraville High School and Rockmart in Calhoun on January 3rd, according to TMZ. A Rockmart player pushed a Sonoraville player and then punched him in the face before he landed a second punch and another player from the opposing team, as seen in a video that resurfaced on social media. So let's take a look really quickly. So it got crazy. The 16-year-old Rockmart player was allegedly provoked by the Sonoraville player because he kept calling him the N-word, and he lost his temper, according to Gordon County Sheriff's Office incident report. The Rockmart player is facing 2 charges of simple battery, according to the police report. The violent scene occurred with less than 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. The Rockmart player shoved the Sonoraville athlete to the ground, who got up before being knocked down again by the punch. Another Sonoraville player ran toward the melee and was hit with a haymaker by the Rockmart player. People in the crowd could be heard yelling, while others ran from the stands and the benches to intervene. The Rockmart player was held back by multiple people before the video cut out. As of Thursday morning, both schools have yet to publicly address the incident. I'm betting you, and I'm not saying that this kid was right, I bet you, though, that they kept hearing the other kid call this kid the N-word, and they didn't do anything about it. Julius, your thoughts? Thank you, Sasuke. Hit that like button, people.
So this goes on even up here in Massachusetts. And it's inexcusable. I remember when my sister was in high school, and it was a boys' game, and one of the players from the other school told my cousin, actually, she was the cheerleader. She wasn't even a game. She was she was a cheerleader. Why don't you sit down, you black beep? And you want to know what all their coaches and stuff said? See, this is why we don't come to Springfield, because it's always a problem. No, your players talk out their mouths. That's why it's a problem. Now, I don't condone violence. However, that player who was throwing out the head word, he fluffed around and found out. You just don't do that. because the meaning of that word is incomprehensible. It's demeaning. So he found out. Do I believe that the other player who threw the punch should face charges? No. The player who was saying the word, he needs to get educated on that word. But given this is Georgia, KKK County, I'm pretty sure he knows the meaning of that word, but still chose to use it anyway. I yield back.
Savannah, your thoughts?
So being from Georgia, from Savannah, Georgia, I call that my home. I have been to many high school football and basketball games where these students rivalry. It's what we do on Friday nights. These small country towns. That's where we get our entertainment. We go support our kids, our students, and go to these games. I'm gonna put some blame on the coaches for them. I'm pretty sure someone heard it. If the um, other basketball player was using those words, then the coaches should have. I'm sorry, the referees should have stepped in and ceased the situation and changed the climate. Also, some schools have rivalries that do not allow them to play well together. So that could be a situation as well. This social, our politics has seeped into our social climate, and there is some cultures and races who feel emboldened now, and I think everyone's uh, anxiety and tensions is on high, and I think this is seeping into our children. They're seeing it on social media. They're on every platform. They're seeing it on the news. You have them doing. You have these so-called future leaders, whether it's in politics or technology, who are doing um, neo-Nazi signs, and it's just it is a scary time, and especially and now it's seeping into our children. So the adults have to step in and actually help build a bridge and educate. I'm not going to sit there. I mean, there's a lot of racism and segregation, and I'm one who sat through the Ahmaud Arbery trial 2 years ago from start to finish, and I studied that trial, and it was hard to fathom what this young man went through and the reason why. And the same with Paula Deen when her empire crashed because she found herself comfortable in using the word and using other words that people in the South use to so freely, and they're comfortable, and it's generational. It doesn't make it okay. I'm not excusing it as it's okay, but these people in South Georgia and Tay Tay and Katrina can attest to this and confirm that it's a different, there's a different sense of entitlement, and we always have to, our sense of security is not always as, we're not always as safe as we think we are. We have to be very vigilant and careful. And now it breaks my heart to see that our kids are also suffering from that.
Thank you, Savannah. I appreciate you, and I do agree. Katrina, your thoughts?
I am so sick and tired of racism. It's never going to go away. It's never going to be depleted. It always going to be there in our faces. And yes, the southern states is very, very racist. And it's sad because we thought the leaders that did this, that tried to prevent this, which is gone, which is Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, JFK. Um, we had one governor in Alabama. He wasn't racist, but he had to pretend like he was racist. He stood in front of the door at the University of Alabama. He got pow-powed, and he became the best governor there was after he got pow-powed. The black people loved him because he looked out for the black people. Sometimes it takes a waking up to get you back on right, get you back on straight. When he got that pow-pow, his whole attitude changed. His wife was the first was the first woman governor that Alabama ever had. Her name was Lucille. But the thing of it is, with this young boy, and I seen this story before you did it, Deep, and I was reading it, and somebody was there, and they said this boy was antagonizing the one that knocked him out the whole game. So it wasn't like it was just a one offer. He was doing it the whole game. So I guess the boy just got tired, and he cold punched him, which we don't deal with violence, but you can't tell somebody how to react when you saying these words to them. Even though, maybe he should have said timeout, coach, whatsoever. Maybe he told them. We don't know. But as Savannah was saying, for these kids to keep going through what our ancestors went through and to keep dealing with this stuff over and over. And you got leaders up there that's promoting this, that allowing this, that's saying people can do anything and get away with it. There is no law in this United States anymore. We're basically the laughing stock. And it's ridiculous because that's not the way the United States was supposed to be, even though they started out that way. And not Dustin, Jules, when you were saying that this happened in Boston, Boston was very, very racist. Where you think Plymouth Rock was? The
It's
Pilgrims
still
landed.
happening now.
That's what I'm saying. That's where the Pilgrim landed. So they was very racist up there. Um, and it hasn't changed because I was stationed in Boston at one time. But anyway, I just wish that these people will wake up. I wish they would wake up because this division, this this hatefulness. Do you honestly think that maybe they don't think that God exists, even though they say God, they think God exists? Maybe they don't think that because nobody with hate would ever be allowed in the heaven's gates. So if you got hate in your heart, you're never going to be allowed in the kingdom of heaven to all people that believe. This is ridiculous. You can't take hate. Hate will eat your body up. That's why you see so many people with cancer and all this other stuff. This stuff, these diseases don't come from nowhere. It comes from the inside. And I just hope people realize this. And I hope at one point that everybody will see somebody as a person and not a color. Because it's just getting too ridiculous. You don't know where to turn anymore. It's sad. But I hope goodness for this young boy. I hope he don't get put off the team, which they probably suspended him a couple of games or whatsoever. Probably took him off the team. And that's sad because who knows what this child could have been without somebody antagonizing him. It's just a sad situation. But that's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. Take your thoughts.
I agree with everybody on this right here because no matter where you go, any place you go, it always be there, no matter what. I know we all tired by this right here. We are, but it's still there. It always will be forever. That's why the generation is it's gonna be just like the old generation back in the 60s and the 50s. And our ancestors were right there too. And that's all, Diva.
Thank you. Well, I'm hoping, like I said, all works out with this. Is very sad, but it's on part of this is on those referees, the coaches that was hearing this happen the whole time and didn't do anything about it. You got to protect the kids. If you're a referee for a reason, it's not just about the numbers in the game. If you hear somebody calling somebody else a name, you need to do something about it. So I hope this situation works out to the betterment of all the children involved. So I'm going to go ahead and roll into this last story with ASAP Rocky and this whole trial situation. Let me go ahead and share screen. So ASAP Rocky's lawyers protest lack of black potential jurors ahead of assault trial. A judge said he expects a jury will be chosen at the trial of ASAP Rocky on Thursday, while lawyers for the hip-hop star are protesting the dearth of black candidates for the panel. Nearly 100 potential jurors will pack into the Los Angeles courtroom for a third long day of questioning at the trial, where Rocky is accused of 2 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm for allegedly firing on a former friend in Hollywood in 2021. Opening statements will begin once 12 of them and 4 alternates are seated. I'm pretty sure we are going to have a jury tomorrow, Superior Court Judge Mark Arnold said at the end of court Wednesday, thanking the panelists for their patience. This is not going to go on forever. Other than the dismissals for the cause, each side can have 10 jurors dismissed without giving a reason. The defense has used 4 of its challenges. Prosecutors used just 1. They said they are happy with the jury as currently composed, but that may change. Meanwhile, lawyers for Rocky said they plan to appeal a judge's rejection of their request for a hearing on why less than 5% of the jury pool is black, while the area they are drawn from is 9% African American. It's possible that none of the 16 jurors selected will be black. We're troubled by that, to say the least. Defense lawyer Joe said, we're in downtown Los Angeles, not a small town in Montana. The Reverend Al Sharpton said on his social media platform X that he has been following the proceedings and was critical of the racial makeup of the juror pool. It is absolutely ridiculous that the jury will not be fair and represent so as to deprive ASAP Rocky of a fair trial, the Post said. I'm monitoring the trial and challenging the Los Angeles district attorney to ensure that fair and representative justice is afforded to ASAP Rocky. The judge declined to pause the trial for the appeal. Prosecutors questioned potential jurors Wednesday about their attitudes towards police and celebrity. Deputy District Attorney John asked how many of the 12 people in the jury box during the first round of questioning consider themselves fans of Rihanna, who is Rocky's longtime life partner and the mother of his 2 toddler sons. 4 said they were. He asked them whether they worry about the effect that convicting Rocky on 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, which could lead to many years in prison, could have on Rihanna. You put it in my head, and now I'm like, oh, it would affect her. One woman in the jury box responded. Rocky, who was free on bail and has pleaded not guilty, sat at the defense table watching the questioning. Rihanna was not in court with him, but Rocky's mother and sister sat in his section of the gallery. When told who they were, Arnold marveled at the youthful appearance of his mother, Renee Black. What were you, 7 when you had him? The judge asked. She said she was 26. You are beautiful, the judge told her. That's on the record. Now that's messy. So you already got the judge fanning out as because he's a celebrity. I highly doubt, let's be clear, that any other client mother came in there and they was like, oh, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful. When did you have him? Jury selection began Tuesday after the 36-year-old Rocky, whose legal name is Raheem, turned down a deal offering 180 days in jail, a 7-year suspended sentence, and 3 years probation if he would plead guilty to one of the 2 counts. Rocky is set to headline the Rolling Loud California Music Festival in March. He has been named one of the celebrity chairs of the Met Gala in May, and he has a major role in a Spike Lee directed film, which Denzel Washington to be released soon after. But his life could be upended if he is convicted of firing a pow pow at Terrell, a childhood friend who testified that their relationship had soured and a feud came to a head on the night of November 6, 2021. He testified that the bullets grazed his knuckles. Whew. This is a lot. Julius, your thoughts?
Goodness, she's different than Megan. I mean, well, she does have 2 kids, so that makes the difference. I believe this is the result when you date low quality men. I mean, she knew who he was when he got with her. Like, I think running out of explanations for folks, like when they're already going through stuff and you already know. But she knew who he was, and so it's like, if you're not going to the courthouse every day to support him because you have 2 kids, okay. And plus, I don't know what agreement they have. This is all speculative warning on my end. But yes, pick wisely, people.
But he wasn't. Thank you, Julius. Thank you, Handy B. But he wasn't. He didn't spend any time in jail, did he, Handy B? And Handy B, by the way, my sister said she thought it was a different blanket. She said this is acrylic yarn. Acrylic yarn. I hope I got it right this time. But I told her you asked. But she changed it up when she saw the blanket I was talking about. She said it's acrylic yarn. Savannah, your thoughts?
You know, when you go to trial, it's supposed to be a jury of your peers. And it's going to be difficult to find a jury of his peers, although it's LA. I think what they're trying to avoid is another YSL trial with those witnesses that came out there and made a mockery of the courts. And I really think they're trying to avoid that. But Rihanna has bought some of the best lawyers and got him a great defense team. So he will be, if they just do their research, they'll find a good representation of him, of his peers, and he'll get off. I don't see him spending much time. He'll pay a hefty fine, but he'll get off.
Okay, Savannah said he gonna get off. Okay, Katrina, your thoughts?
I'm with Savannah too, and the reason why Rihanna probably didn't go to court because the people were probably saying that they would think that she would influence the jury. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why she didn't want to make her appearance in court, which I would think that his lawyers would tell him. And another thing, I'm with Savannah because maybe he might not get off, but my bet is he probably is gonna get off. Simply, I mean, I think the guy should have just sued him civilly, or just told him, made a deal or something with him because this going to trial, it probably ain't gonna be on trial for like 2 or 3 days, if that many days. Like you said, the judge already calling the mama cute. Child, this this gonna be a mess. This gonna be a hot damn mess. He
Another
already
hot.
poisoned the jury pool. He already poisoned the jury pool.
You ain't lie.
He's gonna calling the lady pretty whatsoever. He probably asking for a date later on. Um, this is gonna be a waste of time. Like I said, he said it was a starter pow pow. And isn't he in a movie? He can also say that's the thing that he used in a movie or whatsoever, even though you know, you're not supposed to have this type of, uh, um, weapon or whatever. But I think it's going to be just a waste of time. I don't think he's going to get no time. This is people gonna be on the jury box for no reason, because I don't see it going into that other guy's way, and that's a sad situation because nobody should be terrorized or whatsoever. But I'm thinking, child, you just should have told him to pay you so and so or whatever, and let it be, because this right here is going to be the waste of time. But we'll see how it turns out. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. Yeah, he is taking the jury talking about she beautiful. When did you have and when you were 7? Come on, Judge. Tay Tay. So y'all might be right. He might get off. Tay Tay, your thoughts?
Well, the judge is probably flirting his mom. Now that's just a one hot mess right there. You told her that she is cute. One, are you trying to get her phone number? Two, are you trying to take out her date? And three, go to her house and see what kind of war that her son have? I think this is the first time I ever heard Jill ever say about the mom is cute. Well, yeah, imagine Brianna being in the court. He probably told her she is beautiful. Yeah, yeah, Brianna did the right thing to not go to the court. You know, she stay home with her kids right there. And like I said before, we talk about this, Diva. Trouble always gonna come for you, no matter where you go. Trouble always find you and stay right there. I got a feeling this ain't gonna be the last time we're gonna hear about Rocky at all. That's all, Diva.
Well, I appreciate you. Listen, thank you guys for being here. Now y'all changed my mind a little bit. Yeah, because the judge already tainted the jury pool. He might get off. But I do think that all of these rappers on a real serious note, I think that all of these rappers, they need to stop. Like, you make it to this level where you can make this type of money and you still want to be a thug in the street. You gotta choose a side. What you want to do? Do you want to be a rapper? Do you want to have influence? Do you want to make this money? Do you want to be legit? You walking around, listen, they said nobody could get hurt if you don't bring nothing to the party. You don't bring no pow to the party, nobody could get hurt. Why are you walking around with that? I would just have security. I would personally have nothing on me and I would have security. And then less security. So that way, even if I get mad, I don't got nothing to grab to make a split decision that's going to change my life. Now he got 2 sons. He done met Rihanna. He happy. And now you facing these charges because you wanted to still be a thug in the street. And now you trying to say it's a prop and you got all these people that's going to testify that it was a prop, sir. And when it comes, because somebody said, I think, Katrina, you were saying, why did he just do civil? The guy himself had no control over this being a criminal case or not. That's up to the state. So he had no control over that. I think
He should have just did a back deal. Because what he finna get, he's not gonna get what he want now. He should have just did a back deal with Race out. You know what I'm saying?
No. I don't think he's even civilly suing him. He's not. His friend is not the reason why he's on trial. The cops was called. Was called. Okay. Yeah, so cops was called, and once you get them involved, that's it. They the one that make the decision with you're going to get press charges because he was arrested. He was arrested.
Yeah, I remember that part. Yeah,
he was arrested, and now he got to face the criminal charges. You can't just say, "Oh, we was playing." No, all is well. But my thing is, stop being a thug in the street when you got so much to lose. And you got to stop hanging with certain people when you at certain levels. Because they will have you tied up in some mess.
Exactly, because that's what happened with Doe B. When he had elevated and, He came back to his hometown to perform. Friends was jealous, and he never made it out the club.
Oh,
You can't come back to the, once you get, like you said, once you get to a certain status, the same people you shot, shoot dice with or whatsoever, you can't go back to those places because, see, they're going to look at you, they're going to be jealous, and they're going to be very jealous if you have made it and they're still in the same spot, because that envy going to run deep. You can never go back, even though you want to go back, but when you reach a certain level, sometimes you can't go back. Just donate and go on by your business, because these people don't want to see you to excel and they're still in the same spot.
that
It
part.
doesn't work like that no more. The
Yeah,
same thing would happen with, what's his name, Takeoff. You just can't go back doing the same things. It's just not, it's not going to go well. It's not going to go well.
yeah.
But that's all I got.
Thank you. All right, guys, I'm closing out. I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit the like button on the way out. Thank you, mods. I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like button, people. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Do not cheat the devil. Strike down Choo Choo and BB. Thank you.